What's up, Tube? Welcome back to the second best Gel Blaster channel on the Tubes in tube fashion with tube things. And that is like Guido's Chop Shop. Here we have the Double Bell High Kappa 5.1 IPSC version, which for those of us who it's the John Wick. It's the John Wick pistol. That's it's basically I guess license avoiding 101. Don't name the Terran Tactical or anything like that. And here it is. First up, the case. Pretty nice case. Comes with some little white gels, which is cute because you're never going to use them. But let's get this thing out of the box and have a look at the actual thing. Now let's take a look at this. This is the Double Bell version of the Terran Tactical Combat Master, or the TTI Combat Master. And I'm gonna have to get out the other version and compare it because I want to see the two side by side. First things first, the first thing I notice, this is not stippled. This has not been stippled. This is just like injection molded pattern that looks like the stippling of the TTI. Now, that's all well and good. Not everyone can have hand stippling, but other than that, I mean, it looks very similar. Let's grab the other one and compare them side by side. Alright, now we've got side by side, we've got the TTI Combat Master from Azrael's, which is the MG version. And then we've got the Double Bell Combat Master on this side. Looking at them side by side, they look very similar. Just in appearance, I mean, I don't know if this is just the one that I've got here, but the rear sight seems a bit loose on the Double Bell. I know this is one of my favourite gel conversion magazines because this spring is so nice and soft, yet it still does the job, and that's kind of like my benchmark for gel mags. Does the Double Bell? I don't think the Double Bell's going to do it, but let's see. No, it doesn't. If you can get your finger and push the spring down on the magazine without pushing the magazine across the desk, then that is a good spring for gel mags. The Double Bell, I know, because I've played with Double Bells in the past, I know the Double Bell spring is soft enough to work, but I think probably should be a bit softer. Keeping in mind we've got Ultra Elites and stuff these days as well, so gels are getting harder, so they are putting up with tougher springs more, but the softer springs still work better in my opinion. Mag lips, grey on this one, black on this one. This looks like it's got a few little casting burrs and stuff that just seem a bit cleaner on the Azrael's version. And I mean, just things that I'm noticing, like just visually, the thumb safety here on the Azrael's, it's a nice rounded safety, whereas this seems more angular. I don't know if you can see that. It's like sharp and angular. I might get some close-up shots to show you what I mean. But I mean, the slides look very similar to the eye, anyway. The rear sight seems a bit higher quality on the Azrael's. The 9x19 marking on the barrel there is punched or indented, embossed, whatever you want to call it, as opposed to printed on. That looks like it's just printed on with like a laser printer or something. Wow, the markings and everything are so similar. It looks like the STI logo is a bit more prominent on the double bell than it is on the Azraels. Let's have a look at the other side. We'll flip them over. Again, you've got this angular safety here versus the nice curved safety of the Azraels. I don't actually know what the real steel equivalent has, so I can't tell you which one's more realistic in that fashion, but gosh, the stippling looks so much nicer on the Azraels. They're pretty close replicas. Like from an external point of view, let's tear it down and have a look, shall we? Actually, just before I tear down, let's have a close look at the stippling on the Azraels, and we'll have a look at this nice curvature there. Got the sight, you can see it's embossed with left on there as well. Let's look at the markings down here. On the double bell, the stippling is, well, it's not. I can't really get a shot of that sharp angle, but it just, I don't know, it just looks displeasing to my eye, that sharp angle. I don't know why. Everything else looks quite similar. Probably worth noting that the Azraels is CO2 and the double bell is green gas. You got the fill port there on the bottom, as opposed to with the Azraels you actually put the CO2 bulb in it for what it's worth. That wasn't part of my plan. I wonder if that's a thing with the double bell. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Interesting little tidbit there. The double bell mag actually forced out my takedown pin and slide catch. But it does cycle the Azraels on green gas. I know that when I compared the double bell with the, I think it was like one of the Eagles, right, okay. Yeah, so when I compared the double bell with the Golden Eagle had this little slot here, and the double bell didn't, and it's the same thing here. In fact, this mag would probably fit in that Golden Eagle as well. But like, so it seems like the Azrael's lip has the similar thing like the Golden Eagle has, where it's got this little slot here, which incidentally is for the slide catch to ride in. Let me just show you. Alright, so with that slide catch out, there is like a tiny little, see that little piece sticking out just here, which actually rides in that slot. And that's part of what pushes your slide catch up when the mag's empty. The double bell mags don't have that slot, so when you put the double bell mag in, This will actually pop the slide catch out, unless you either A, file off that notch like I did on the Golden Eagle, or you could put a little slot into all your mags. Worth noting, if that's your jam. Alright, so let's look deeper inside this one, the double bell, because we've seen inside the Azraels, we know what's in it, and if you haven't, there's a I might even put a link to the Azraels in either the description or in a thing up there. Alright, so let's have a look inside this. As always, take down, you bring the slide back to that part there, and should be able to pop. There we go. Pop, slide, release, and there we go. So from here we can see the barrel is in there. Now, I've been told that I do this wrong. What I do, I actually push this through and unscrew this, and then hold the spring tension with my finger and take this out, and then remove the spring that way. And I know it's probably a little bit arse about, but the other way that I've been told you're supposed to do it, and I like it when people tell me how to do things. So let's assume that this is all screwed in. Get that spring down, screw this in. Okay, so this is all one piece. Then the way you're allegedly supposed to do it, so you compress that all the way down, put that down in there, and you got to hold this, compress, hold that, and then squeeze that down in there. I think my way's easier, personally. Like, so to get that out, what am I supposed to do? Push this all the way back, and then when it's all the way back, wiggle it out under the full tension of the spring. Yeah, I guess you could do it that way. Either or, whatever gets the job done. Whatever floats your boat. I just unscrew it. I don't know. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, this barrel should just slide forwards. And is retained by one tiny screw there. So I'm going to take that screw out because I can, because I need to for any reason really. That little tab there is what retains the barrel in there. Now, interesting, you may have noticed that they are advertised as coming with a built-in hop-up. This is apparently what counts as a built-in hop-up. We cut a few slots in the end of the barrel, which is supposed to, the theory behind it is it's supposed to vent air from the top, which then creates a low pressure area on top of the gel and a high air pressure below the gel, which is supposed to impart backspin on the gel. I've never seen any system like this that actually works properly. Like, personally, that's my opinion. I don't think they're really achieving anything by having that in there, other than potentially giving another point where the gels could shred on. my personal opinion. I mean, you could polish it. I guess you could lap that until there's no sharp edges in there. You can do that. Fill your boots. But I don't buy it. 7.46, 7.47, 7.47 millimeter internal diameter barrel on that one. Yeah, the chamber's quite interesting. It's they've left the entire little bit where the hop-up wheel would go if you were having a hop-up, which is cute. Just means that they've not cast an entirely new piece from the hard polymer version. Yeah, alright. I'm just going to screw this a little bit back in so that she stays put. Alright, let's slip this one back in. Should slide straight back in. Looks like there's a blue alloy poppet valve thingy inside there, so that's cool. If you like blue and alloy stuff. Is this really a thing? I swear my way's better. Nah, that's bullshit. Oh, there's some spacers in there. That's interesting. A couple of spacers in there which hold the spring. That is interesting. That to me kind of says that you could remove or add spacers as you saw fit. Which is kind of handy if you like short stroking and stuff. Now, I'm just going to pop that in there and pop a screw in there and tighten it up. Man, I find that is so much easier. I don't know what people are saying, do it the other way. I certainly know on some of the other models there's a slightly different setup here where you can pop the you can just pop this back and slide it out and stuff and things, but with this one, no. Anyway, it all looks quite nice quality. Let's see what the test is always what does the chrono say. So let's check what does the chrono say. Just get this slide into position so I can pop the lock/pin back in, and then we'll load some gels. I've got some Ultra Elites, so I'll load them in. Okay, so I've managed to fit 14 Ultra Elites in there. Let's give it a crack. Alright, here we go. I'm going to stand back a little bit so I don't get interruptions from the gas. 260, 253, 256. The first initial shots were about the 250, 260, but as the mag got colder, it dropped down to like 230-ish. Anyway, all the other features, the grip safety, and you can actually cock the hammer manual styles, and half cock it. Your slide safety works there, even if you got your hand on the grip safety. Got to have that thumb safety down as well. All the safeties. It's a very nice looking blaster, and in fact, probably my biggest gripe is this this non-stippled grip, which I might add, where the screws are actually screwed into here, I can actually feel the ends of the screws poking out into the mag well, which probably isn't going to be the greatest for the mag. It seems to not mind. It's a little bit loose in there. All in all, would I choose this one over the Azraels? I don't think I would. I just think, and it could just be the stippling and the thumb safety, but overall, I feel like the Azraels just feels nicer to me. And with the CO2 and the upgraded poppet that it's got, it's shooting around 300 as well, so a bit higher. But having said that, if you want to go green gas, then this is probably the route to go, because while you could use green gas mags in the Azraels one, it probably isn't appropriately valved for it, so you're probably going to get low FPS, probably even lower. Maybe I should try that. Let's try that. I'm going to try that. Alright, so using... I just shot a few off camera. Sorry, I didn't shoot it on camera for you guys, but I just had everything else set up and I just packed the chrono away. But using the green gas mag in the CO2 blaster, I was getting 240s. Very, very consistent 240s. So yeah, it will obviously drop your FPS if you want to use green gas in CO2 blaster, but it does work. It works. You just got to be aware of that little issue with the toggle on the slide catch, but it works. So I mean, from where I'm standing, seems like a pretty reasonable little green gas pistol if you're focused on green gas and you want a combat master. Yeah, get the double barrel. But if you're happy to roll with CO2, I'd choose the Azraels. I just think the overall finish and just external quality just seems nicer on the Azraels. They both look so similar, like side by side. They look almost identical. I can't notice any huge differences. But the main difference is, I guess, on green gas, this one performs at a higher FPS than if you put green gas into the Azraels. If you put the CO2 in the Azraels, then the Azraels is more powerful. Stands to reason, makes sense. Anyway, I think that's really all I have to say about this blaster. I mean, I usually make really, really long videos on blasters because I take them all apart and tear them down and everything. But with the gas stuff, I mean, there's a certain amount of tear down you can do. I guess I could tear the whole thing down, but no one really needs to see all that because the operation's up here, really. So for the most part of it, you just want to know how it looks, how it feels, and how it fires. And as I said, it's pretty good. If you want green gas, if you're hell-bent on only using green gas, this is probably the better option. You could probably even get yourself a better stipple grip to put onto it. My main gripes is sort of finish. As for actual performance, it seems like it performs quite well. Anyway, that's all from me today. Nice short one for you. Don't forget, patches on the face page, hit me up. Or if you would like to buy me a coffee, there will be a link down below for that as well. Peace.